Among 34 qualifying quarterbacks over the past 2 seasons, Daniel Jones ranks 34th in EPA per pass play out of 34. So he's been the worst quarterback the last 2 years. And this is who you're going to, name a starter. And like, I understand Gilbert's been, he was big on Anthony Richardson, but
big
this
time.
is a player your staff drafted. Like, and you're going with a guy who was ranked 34th out of 34 quarterbacks the past 2 years. I'm sorry, like, it's just, I don't understand this move at all. Like, part of the reason you brought him in was to give Anthony Richardson competition. At least give Anthony Richardson a chance here. You didn't even give him a chance, and now you're just naming, like, this isn't a rookie that you're going with in Anthony Richardson. This is a guy who's already been in the league a couple of years. It's not one of those things where you're going to lose a locker room. And I've already, I'll give you guys a kind of something that we're going to talk about for the carne asada. A coach that's going to be on the hot seat for me, it's Steichen, and he's a great coach. He's a great offensive coordinator, but he's going down that path where you have a new ownership here too. They're not attached to him, so I wouldn't be surprised if Steichen is the one that ends up getting, the blame here instead of the GM who's been there forever. Like, this is the GM should take most of the criticism here, but it's going to be on Steichen, which I feel bad about.
If we're being honest, though, like Gilbert, I mean, you and I both know him. To me, Anthony Richardson isn't a Steichen. Like, it feels like that was a move that, if I'm being honest, I don't think Steichen would have made. Just because he doesn't seem. I think he came in. He wasn't the starter when he came into the season at Florida. It was somebody else. Then that guy got hurt. Then Anthony went in.
It was trash.
Yeah, he showed some flashes. And that's what everybody went off on. Same thing as the dude on the Trey Lance. Same thing as Trey Lance, where he showed flashes and people got really excited about what he could be, but they forgot that he didn't get that much experience. That's why the Mannings they are talking about 24 games. Play at least 24 games of college football so you can get so you can see what you have, you can play, you can see different defenses, all that. That's why they harp on that. And some GMs just completely decide, oh no, that was good enough. He's done really well. Let's draft him. So I agree with it. I think either way you were going to lose in this sense, to be honest, with it, whichever quarterback. But I did see a tweet from one of the guys that one guy from ESPN that said, what did he say? He said basically Richardson is younger than Shador, Will Howard, Dylan Gabriel, Shuck, Caleb, Bo Nix, and Penix. And the Colts just gave up. I don't think it's giving up. No. I just think maybe this is a Bryce Young kind of move, maybe, where they make him sit on the bench, make him watch, make him see. And then well, yeah, that's true.
I think really the problem is twofold. I think that's probably how bad Richardson has been in camp. I'm sorry, I saw my window and I'm going to take it. I think that's how bad he's been in camp, where they're like, we can't start this guy. And on top of that, what people understand, Vic's very right. He's going to be on the hot seat, new ownership and everything else. So what is he thinking to himself? Well, here's a guy that, what's his name? Oh, wait, no, he wasn't with the Vikings. Where was Danny Jones? Where was Danny Dimes with last year?
Yeah, he went to the Vikings. He got traded last year. It was the Vikings before he got
released, right?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I confused him with Sam Darnold for a minute. But anyway, I completely forgot it was Sam Darnold who started. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, I think what he's trying to bank on is, you know what? Kevin O'Connell was able to do something with a vet who's been rejected and everything else. I need to win some games now, and I don't really have time to teach. And I think that's why he's like, well, Danny Dimes is going to be our guy. He's athletic. He can throw the ball. I mean, who knows how well he's going to play in his scheme, but I think that's what he's thinking more than anything. I think it's very true, and I mean, everybody brace for impact because I'm going to give Gilberto a compliment. It's very true what he says in the sense that sometimes these franchises need a reset to get off the mediocre train. And that's when you try and do quick fixes like this with vets, you just stay on the train. I mean, we've already seen it with the Steelers. We've already seen it with some of these teams where they get these vets, but it doesn't pan out the way they want, and then we're just still stuck at 9-8 or top or bottom, or I guess top 15 of the draft or whatever it is. So, I think really that's the problem. He knows he's coaching for his job, and he's trying to do it as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Gilbert,
What's the irony with that is like trying to avoid the mediocre train, but then when you're a coach on the hot seat, you think I need wins, so you go for the mediocre, safer option. But then you still get 8 or 9 wins and you miss the playoffs, you're fired. So it's like, might as well just go with the guy with a little more upside. I'm not going to defend Anthony Richardson. I'm more with Vic on this one. They're both bad options. Richardson has not earned it. He hasn't worked hard. He got benched last year, and that didn't put a fire under his ass like it did Bryce Young. The helmet tag, I could keep going on and on. The bad reading of the blitz last week. There's too much garbage, Richardson, but like you spent the number 4 pick on the guy. You're going to go down with the ship regardless. Maybe like if you want a better job or another opportunity, Shane's taking, if you're able to make Richardson decent, like honestly, maybe the daughters of Jim Irsay are saying, you know what? He actually looked decent last year. Maybe keep Steichen around. Maybe that's a better way than focusing on wins. And I know when you have a veteran locker room, you're going to go with like, all right, do you care about us? Do you care about the wins? Do you care about your job? So it's a very tricky thing. So I don't want to put a lot of criticism on Shane Steichen for what he's doing. But to me, like, honestly, he could go a long way if he's able to make Richardson decent. He needs to play, but he hasn't earned it. So if you're a coach that says, you know what, if you haven't work your butt off, if you haven't put in the effort, you haven't put in the time, I don't care. I don't even care about my job. I'm putting the guy who's working harder. And if it has to be Daniel Jones, and it's Daniel Jones. But he's just kind of in a crappy situation, and we should point the blame more at Ballard. Why didn't you get a better option for Richardson, Chris Ballard? You've been there freaking 10 years, bro. He's on a different, I'm not going to name names, but he has a long leash like another GM that we know of. At some point, that's it. So if they can't get to the playoffs, they're going to be fired regardless.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And anything else, Vic? No,
I mean, what sucks here too, if you look at the roster, like they finally got rid of Gus Bradley and they brought in Lou Anarumo. So at least, I'm high on their defense. And then you have a rookie, I think it's either a rookie or a second year center. So like I understand why they're going with Danny Dimes, because you don't want to get Anthony Richardson killed when you have an interior offensive line that's young. And so I understand that in that situation. But man, when you look at the weapons they have all around, you brought in Tyler Warren, you got Downs, you have Pittman Jr. So you have a really good roster. This is where having like if I'm the Colts, go trade for McKee from the Eagles, or maybe even a Tyson Bagent from the Bears. Like, go get yourselves at least somebody that's a lot better than these guys that you're going to put out there, because you actually have a roster that can win this year, and it just sucks that you're stuck in mediocrity with those quarterbacks.